You're listening to I'm Not Being Funny, but the podcast with me, Lee.
And me, Annie.
Hello and welcome back to episode 4, part 2, I suppose.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you have a story for us.
I do.
All yours, take it away.
So, we tried to put this in episode 4, but it's quite a long story. And from what I read to Lee at that point, he had quite a bit of an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Which made us telling the story quite long.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not generally a very opinionated person.
I don't know. I'll live with you.
True.
So, anyway, the story is about a girl whose boyfriend is embarrassed by her job. I mean, she has a job, so why be embarrassed?
I mean, can I take a stab in the dark at what she does?
Go on then.
So, I'm thinking... Is this America?
Yes.
Is she a greeter in a supermarket?
No.
Is she a cashier?
No.
Is she a stripper?
No.
Is she one of those ladies that pops out with cakes and dances?
What, you mean a stripper? Or dancing girl or burlesque dancer?
Yeah, something like that.
No.
What is she?
A nurse.
Fuck off. He's embarrassed because she's a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. This should be interesting.
My 28 female, boyfriend 32 male. That's not a big age gap, that.
No, 4 years isn't a lot.
Nah, that's like normal. Ignored me in front of his friends and is telling me I need a less embarrassing job. Any advice? Get rid of him. You got your little pink post-its out.
I don't have any red flags. It's the best I can do.
Is it short notice?
Yeah, there's nothing round us that's red.
Just a little bit of background. I, 28 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 32 male, for a little over 2 years. When we first started dating, he was so sweet and charming. Always took me to nice restaurants and said the nicest things to me. And we moved in together after a year. He does sweet things all the time, like sometimes packs my lunches or drives me to work. I'm a nurse at a hospital in the next town over. So he writes notes and puts them in my coat pocket. And he even takes me shopping for nice clothes. There've been a lot of times that he's said things that have hurt me in a little bit. But we've always been really good at communicating and moved through it. I mean, that's a red flag for me. If he's saying stuff to hurt your feelings,
yeah, I can
why
see.
would you just move through it if he keeps doing it?
Well, it might just be like, you know how we take the piss out of each other a bit. It might be something like that. And like, as you said about me, she's too sensitive. She's just taking it the wrong way. It could be something like that.
Could. But
Taking it to heart, that's the phrase I was looking for.
there's a lot of people who would have said that you shouldn't have stuck around with me. Oh.
True. But here we are 10 years later.
He had some friends in town visiting, and we had them over, went to dinner with them, even went to a party with some of their mutual friends that I don't know. But I've always liked parties and meeting his friends, so I was excited. I bought a new dress for the night that I really liked, and I was feeling pretty good about myself when I got ready. But as it went on, I started to feel worse and worse. My boyfriend ignored me the whole night. He didn't talk to me or look at me while we were out with everyone, and walked away to talk to other people at the party. Really quickly, when we got there, I went over to where he was. He still wouldn't really look at me and walked away from me as soon as someone started talking to me, or I was distracted. A couple of times, I put my hand on his shoulder or his arm. He didn't acknowledge me once. But at the end of the night, I was mortified and embarrassed. I tried to talk and be friendly with his friends and the other people that were there, but it was hurting my feelings quite bad. We ended up going home after all of his closer friends had left, and he finally talked to me, but just to ask if I could call an Uber.
Does he see her as his secretary or something?
He definitely doesn't say he was much of a girlfriend.
Well, no, just from that bit there, the only time he spoke, oh yes, you, go order me an Uber.
Yeah,
Sounds like a right prick.
he does. I did, and we went home. He fell asleep so quickly while I was sat in the living room trying to convince myself that it was all in my head. The next day it was even worse though. I brought up that I felt like he was ignoring me the whole night, and he agreed. He admitted to me that he had ignored me because he's embarrassed by what? By me when I told his friends where I went to college. A small arts college in Nebraska. And that I was a nurse. He actually said just a nurse. It hadn't even been something I would consider being embarrassing. But he thought it was embarrassing because almost all of the people at the party had gone to Harvard or Stanford or Brown and were in business or tech. I think I was the only person there out of 30 to 40 people who hadn't gone to one of those three schools. My boyfriend also went to Harvard.
So I was right when I said he sounds like a prick.
Yeah. Far too much money.
That's mummy daddy money.
Yeah, that's his bloody trust fund.
Yeah.
I told him that really hurt my feelings. Not only because I had felt like he had been ignoring me and that I was right, but because I thought it was ridiculous to be embarrassed about my job. I'm really proud of my job. I love it because I feel like I'm making a difference. He then told me he feels like my job is a dead-end job. And the jobs that don't really have a progression are kind of a waste. So the next time he's in hospital,
Oh.
we won't have any nurses wasting the time on him. No doctors wasting the time on him. Just leave him in the corner to die. He then, for some reason, continued talking.
He needs to shut up. He needs to know when to stop talking.
I think that's why you need shovels.
Hit him in the face.
I never said nothing. He said that I could go back to school and be like the girls that were at the party. He said they were really impressive. They had really impressive jobs, and that I could too if I switched careers. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. And when I told my friends about it, they agreed. I always knew that I wanted to be a nurse. That is like middle.
Yeah, 100%.
Since she could talk, she's wanted to be a nurse.
Yeah.
She'll dress up as a nurse for anything.
Even in school, they asked her what she wanted to be, and she said nurse. We've got photographic proof of it as well.
Yeah. And the whole time from being at nursery when she said
Yeah.
and dressed up as a nurse, all the way now she's in primary school and still dresses up as a nurse for career day. Some people are just born to do a job.
Yeah.
And I spent years going to school for it, and I was proud of myself when I graduated. And after I started working at the hospital I work at now, I found it really fulfilling. Even if it is stressful sometimes, I told him I was really happy with my job. And he said he didn't understand why, because I complain about it all the time. And he referenced when someone threw up on me once, and I told him about it when I got home. Do you remember the time I told you about someone shitting on me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I used to work in a care home, you'd get a uniform, which was a bit like a nurse's top in hospitals that I used to wear to work, and it was white.
Was.
And this day, this resident, the person wasn't well. It wasn't a normal thing that would happen to you. And you're toileting somebody who was like capable of going. And it happened. And I had shit all down one side of me. Like, it was like them blow pens, wasn't it? Just splattered all down one side of me. Oh, the worst bit was I had to go home looking like that
And smelling like it.
and smelling like it because no, what happened? I'd gone into the laundry and the laundry said to ask the manager. The manager gave me another uniform.
She did. But I do remember that
But
when
I had the red bag, didn't I? Because I put the red bag in the washer.
Yeah.
Because that was how I'd got saved. Because often, especially when I did domiciliary care and I was out walking the streets, I used to wear a top under my works top. But this day, I hadn't worn a top under my works top. It was like underwear under my works top, and that was it. So I'd had to get another uniform, but I had this red bag that was going nowhere. I was literally carrying that in my hand. It wasn't going in anything because it was covered in shit. It was so disgusting.
I remember you got home and when you walked in and said, "Hey, are you alright?" And you looked at me and went, "I've been shit on, stay away," and just walked straight to the shower.
Yeah.
I was just sat there, I was like, "Yep, fine. That'll do."
And this is where I used to come in when we first met, when you first came to the flat, and I said to you, I'd got dropped off at home, then I'd walked out to meet you at the bus stop, and
Yeah.
we'd walk back, and I said, right, I just need to go and wash work off, and that's what I meant, because it happened when I'd worked domiciliary as well, I'd been shit on.
Yeah.
So you had to wash work off when you worked in care,
Yeah.
because God only knows what you were covered in.
I suppose it's the same if you're a nurse as well, though.
Exactly.
So, I
And
mean,
stories like that, if you work with people
it's going to
in
happen.
that sort of situation where you're looking after them, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not a case of you complaining. You're literally telling somebody about what happened that day.
So, like, somebody who works in an office might say, I had this really annoying client on the phone.
Yeah.
Well, I got shit on, literally.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bird, so it wasn't going to be lucky.
No.
But you have these stories if you work with people in that sort of setting. You're looking after them, they're not well. You don't go to hospital because you're well.
Yeah, exactly.
I then said I didn't feel like other people there would look down on nursing as a bad job. And that some people even said that it was a great job and that I must really make a difference in people's lives. He said they were just being nice and they probably didn't really think that. How childish is he?
I mean, he properly looks down on people that are nurses, doesn't he?
Yeah. So what does he think? Like, I mean, his parents, have they ever been in hospital? Does he not think of the day his mum gave birth and there was midwives and nurses around then?
Probably
So
not.
arrogant. Which kind of further hurt my feelings because he knew the people that were there better than me, so he was probably right. This girl's so trodden down by him.
Yeah.
He even continued. He didn't stop his trap there and told me that he had hooked up with a couple of the girls that were there before we started dating. And that was why he'd been ignoring me when he talked to them. This also hurt my feelings. One of them went to Harvard and the other went to Brown. They are both in business. So the arrogant twats. Explains it all. And they were also both really nice to me. They talked to me about more than my boyfriend did. Actually, at some point in the night when my boyfriend was ignoring me and talking to someone else, with his back turned, I went looking for one of those girls and was actually able to join in the conversation she was having.
At least somebody was making her feel welcomed and included.
Yeah, at least somebody was actually like in the party mood and not in the arrogant bastard mood.
Oh no, ignore her, she's just a lowly nurse.
One of them even complimented my dress, but my boyfriend said she was also probably just trying to be nice, implying that she didn't mean it.
See,
Excuse me.
he sounds like he has no idea about women.
The thing is, it takes so much any days for women to compliment women
Yeah.
on how you look. Women have always been so fast to slate each other about what was wrong with each other, the slightest thing. If you get a compliment off a woman, it means so much. If you get a woman turn around, or like Middle Child had said when she was with you in the shop about the lady with the hair,
Yeah.
But she wouldn't tell the lady, but...
Because she was shy.
Yeah. I hope the woman had heard her.
I made sure that we spoke loud enough so that she would. Made her day.
Would have made her day. To hear someone compliment you. Because she gets so used to hearing people with the snidey remarks when you were at school. And that's how he's going on.
Yep.
After a couple of days, he sort of came to his senses, realised that I was actually not okay with what he'd said, and wrote me some really long apologetic texts. He
hasn't even got the cojones to do it face to face.
No, let alone what she actually deserves, which is him just fucking off out of her life.
Not before grovelling and buying her something pretty inexpensive.
Very, very expensive, and maybe a little bit pretty, but the sort of thing she would want to sell when he's gone, so she's got a bit of money. But when we talk about it, it's still clear that he feels embarrassed by my job, and that he is still very attracted to those two girls who he hooked up with before. He used the words very attracted to. So he's told her he's very attracted to them. If you turn out to me and told me you were very attracted to someone would be sleeping on the couch for a few months. And no, I don't mean one of the kids. He's never really even talked about me in that way. He doesn't tell me I'm beautiful or pretty or that he likes my outfit, etc. Sometimes he will actually criticise my outfits or the way I look or how I've done my hair, which didn't bother me too much before. But after this conversation, it really does. The same friends who threw that party, if they're reading this, they're going to be fucking getting rid of him, scaring off the guests. Invited us over for a Halloween party next weekend. I'm not feeling great about it. My boyfriend now says that he won't treat me the same way as he did the last time. Don't know shit, Sherlock, but it's a bit late now to be making our promises.
I think he's talking absolute shite there. Considering, going back to some of the said about how he described them as very attractive, the two women that he hooked up with. The reason that he's not going to treat her that way is because he's going to be disappeared off somewhere, fucking the brains out of one of them, and she's going to walk in on it. It's like a really bad Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm. And that the only reason he did was because he was drunk and made a mistake. But I found that difficult to accept since he acted that way the whole night, which was many hours long, and then gave reason after reason for why he felt the way he acted. He's dug his own hole because he didn't shut his own fucking trap, hasn't he? I'm wondering what I should do because I do love him. We talk about getting married. Oh, fucking hell, you don't get married. We both want kids. No. This is not the sort of relationship you have kids in. If you think she's ugly now and she looks like shit, mate, you've seen a pregnant woman 3 times. They don't get prettier.
I've only seen pregnant women 3 times in my life.
Yeah, but each time I was pregnant,
no, I know what you mean.
You don't get prettier. You can see a pregnant woman once, just glancing at her in the street and think, she looks like she's really enjoying being pregnant. But then you can go home to your pregnant wife and think, fucking hell, she still looks like she's eating a house. You don't get any thinner. Well, some do, but I didn't. And we already live together, and I'm really close to his family too. I just went and got coffee with his mum the other week. Another part of me is worried because this whole situation is kind of changing the way I see all the parts, all the past things he said that have hurt me, that I forgave him for. Well, she should have never forgiven him for hurting her. They were always about my job, the way I looked or dressed or talked, or about the college I went to. I mean, she fucking went to college. I got kicked out.
I mean, is there anything that he does like about her? Because it sounded like there's nothing.
Every time he says something wrong, he apologises, but then explains why he said it. So he's saying sorry. So it's like, oh, I'm sorry I dropped your cup, but your cup was really ugly, so I thought I might as well chuck it at the floor so it breaks and I could put it in the bin without you complaining. That's his sort of apology, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of an insult sandwich.
Yeah.
But the reverse of it, so like, you say something nasty, then something nice, then something nasty.
Yeah.
A shit sandwich. Shit sandwich.
I'm usually not insecure. I'm really proud of the college and the nursing school I went to. I met some of my best friends there, and I really feel like I dress well and I'm attractive. But now I'm feeling bad about all of it. And I think it's because I'm actually realising that my boyfriend, what my boyfriend thinks of me. And it kind of kills me to think he thinks so little of me. I told him this and he said, that's not true. And he thinks highly of me. But I'm just not sure. I mean, she's not moving past this. He's saying that he thinks highly of her, but he's talking to her like she's a piece of shit. He's my best friend, but I can't understand how he can say all this and not see how it's hurting me. He keeps saying he doesn't understand why I'm acting this way. While I honestly think I'm being very calm. She's more than fucking calm. I don't know if I'm blowing this out of proportion. I honestly feel pretty bad about myself. And I'm still embarrassed by how he treated me in front of his friends, the exes. I think what I really want is a way to make him see what he's saying and doing is hurting me. But if he didn't see it before, he's not going to see it now. He's not going to just suddenly wake up and think, oh shit, I've been hurting her feelings all this time because I've been telling her that she looks like shit.
True.
About how impressive I am to his friends and shouldn't be a factor in how he treats me. When we aren't in front of people, he is really pretty amazing and kind, with the occasional slip-up. But this belittling behaviour is becoming a bit much. It's becoming more frequent and I don't know how to make him stop or how to deal with how it makes me feel. When he does it, I would usually talk to my best friends about this, but they're telling me to leave him and move out. And I see some of their points, but I really do love him. And I want to make it work. Why? Why want to make it work? It's not working.
It does sound like a one-way relationship, this.
I see some of their points, but I'm not sure about the attending the Halloween party. I'm seriously considering backing out and having him go alone. Has anyone dealt with a similar situation? Any advice would be greatly accepted. Advice, love, is just, that's it, go. Gone. Nah.
I mean, if she does back out, you know for a fact that he's fucking them two girls that he hooked up with.
Oh yeah, he's probably going to anyway though. That'd be how they'll get rid of her.
It's probably why he's been treating her like that, especially at that last party, because he knew that it was coming up. So he's trying to, like, essentially lay the foundations of ending
I
it.
think maybe he's like, if I just ignore her, she's going to get sick and then we'll have a whole big argument afterwards and she'll just leave.
No, by the sound of things, the entire relationship's been one big argument. From what she was saying there, how long have they been together, did it say? 4 years?
Nearly 2 years.
Nearly 2 years.
Just over 2 years, sorry.
I mean, if he kept his, like, I don't know, I suppose narcissistic side away, or just his bitchy side away from her for so long until she moved in, and then he started with all of this, it's fucked up. She needs to just go.
He's not bringing anything to the relationship that she needs.
No.
Sweet little notes in her pocket and he might drive her to work or make her dinner. I mean, your mum will do that for you if you ask her.
True. But on the flip side of it as well, why doesn't she turn around to him and say, well, you know, I'm out there saving lives, what are you doing? If I take the internet away, you're fucked, you've got an out.
Exactly. Wow, we went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's what's up, not clever enough to go to MIT.
Exactly.
You know, probably make him feel like shit.
Give him a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah.
Or just wait until he's at work one day when she's off, pack up all her shit, get a couple of friends to come, move out, and don't tell him.
And don't look back.
Just don't look back in his direction. She is so much better than him. She does a job where she gets shit on, and I can guarantee you that won't be the worst thing she's had all over her.
Oh, no.
She's going to have been covered in some horrific stuff. But she's tough. It's not easy being a nurse and working with people like that.
Definitely not.
Nurses deserve way more than they get. They don't deserve to be spoke to like that, and I don't care where they live. Every country throughout the world has people who will treat nurses like shit, and there's just no need for it.
No.
Mate, I know a few nurses. I've worked with many, many nurses. And there's only one. Out of all the nurses that I know and have worked with, there's one that I passionately...
So, that was the story of my boyfriend is embarrassed by my job.
It was.
Poor woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next episode that we are bringing out, we are going to be bringing out a day early. It's going to be released on Halloween.
So this is the feature-length one that we're going to be recording?
Yes. There's going to be stories from us about us and things that have happened.
You're also going to find out why we celebrate Halloween. We're not just part of this whole new thing from America, are we?
No. You'll also find out why it's special for us. As well as a few ghost stories of things that have happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, tune in on the 31st, which is Thursday.
Yep.
To find out about our spookiness that's been happening.
Mm.
Until then, see you later.
See you next time.